What's up, everybody? It's Tag again, DIY with Tag, your favorite Cubs fan handyman. Thanks for joining me today. I'm standing in front of one of my previous projects. You can see the video in our DIY with Tag collection there. So today I'm bringing you a project, a custom art project. We wanted something specific over top of our fireplace. Couldn't quite find what we were looking for, so my wife came up with this concept, and so I'm going to show you through this project. A finished product picture should pop up just now, and I'll show you how we did this. Project came in at $32, so pretty cost effective, especially when you think about the cost of certain pieces of art and artwork. And $32. It measures at 26 by 40. I'll put all the supplies and measurements down in the comments below, but it came in at 26 by 40, and what it took was 3 8-foot pieces of white shiplap, putting that together, and then putting a stained border around that. So pretty cost effective, and as you can see, it looks great. So as I go along, if I forget anything, hit me with the comments. If I need to fill any gaps, I certainly will try my best to do so. But hit the likes and hit that free subscribe if you like this content, so you can see when our next videos go live, next projects go live, and I look forward to showing you through this one.
So before we get rocking and rolling, I just wanted to show you what shiplap was, for those of you that that you haven't seen it or don't know exactly what I'm talking about. And I did say ship with a P, shiplap. And so what it is it's specifically cut to fit together like puzzle pieces. So these two boards will fit together just like a puzzle. So we just slide them together, and they fit right in together like that and connect together. So that's what we're using to get that look that you saw on the finished product there. There's another product called car siding. It's a little bit narrower, and it also has another kind of style or grooving down the middle here. You could go with either, really. We just like the look of the thicker piece here, and we got the pre-finished white because we knew we wanted the bright white look for what we were going for. So, but you can get this in different colors and finishes, unfinished, and then like I showed you there, it just snaps together and creates that nice look there. So next step here, measure this up and get it cut.
Alright, gang, we're just making our measurements here. I already made my first measurement down at 40. Now I'm making one at 80 here, because again, we're at 26 by 40 for this project. So the length is at 40, so I'm making my marks. But I just wanted to show you, as I'm making my mark at 80 here, get yourself a good woodworking square if you don't have one already. This allows you to get nice straight lines for when you're making your cuts here. You just butt it up against, you just butt the flat end up against what you're working on. You get a nice even line on there as you measure it out. All right, y'all, now the fun stuff. We make the cuts. Oh, and by the way, don't forget the good eye protection. Safety first.
Alright, gang, so there they are, cut and pieced together. Let me show you again how the shiplap works. Again, you got the grooves, and they fit together like a puzzle piece. Pretty easy. So the nice thing about this, in a minute here when we go to hang them up, is all we gotta do is level up the first one, or the bottom one on your wall. All we gotta do is level that one up, and then place the rest on top of that one. So it's a fairly easy thing to keep level, and then we'll put the edging around it once we get up on the wall as well. So next thing though, I'm going to cut that edging for you, show you how to do that, because we're going to do angle cuts on that edging.
Alright guys, so I'm measuring out the edging that we're going to put around the whole shiplap square, rectangle, I guess it is, and based on the style that we want to do this, I'm leaving an inch overhang on all sides. So when I'm measuring to do my next cuts, I'm accounting for the fact that these are going to be an inch long, and then the side pieces are going to be an inch high, because we just want a little extra border going around the whole thing. So the border is not going to be flush, on this. It's going to have a bit of an overhang all the way around it, just based on the kind of look we're going for. So depending on how you do it, keep that in mind, but for us, that's what I'm going for here. So when I do these measurements, they're all going to be an inch of overhang on all sides. All right, more cuts, don't forget. Alright guys, so we measured the long pieces or the horizontal pieces now. Now I'm just measuring the vertical pieces, so I'm just lining the next one up here against the one below it, and just making our marks to make these next cuts. Nothing too exciting as far as that goes, but that's just how we're marking that up. So we want it to be the exact length, and then we'll do angle cuts in both of these ends to fit them together. So I'll show you those. I'll cut these to length, and then after that I'll show you the angle cuts from there. Okay, so we got those measured and cut, so now we're back to our square again. We're going to use this to measure our angles, okay? So we're going to measure the angle on one, draw the line, then measure the opposite angle on the other one, and then cut those through. So let me show you what I mean by that. You just butt this square right up to flush to the base end of your board here. So you're just gonna flush it straight up to the edge of that board. Let me show you this angle. So you just bring it in flush to the edge of that board, and then you're just gonna draw that line right down along there. So that's gonna give you your first angle, and then you grab the other board and use a little bit of visualization and imagination, which thankfully I have plenty of, and then draw that line, then cut them both, and you'll fit them together. Okay, so let me show you. I'll get this done, then I'll show you the lines, and you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so you can see we have the opposing angles. So then when we cut these, when we get these cut, then they're gonna fit right together, okay?
All right, gang, so here is where we're looking to put the DIY decoration or art piece that we're working on. You can see the old holes from the previous things, which I'm gonna have to deal with later, but what I'm doing now is measuring up. So I measured the center of the fireplace, and then the art pieces ended up about 25 inches in length total. So to get an equal distance from the top and the bottom is 7.5 inches. So what I've done is measured this all out. Here's the very center of the fireplace, marked it with the plus there, and that's 7.5 inches from the top of the fireplace there. So that's going to be the lowest level of, or where I'm going to put the lowest piece of shiplap. So with this the shiplap fitting together like a puzzle piece, I'm going to put the first piece on, get that leveled and square, and then everything else will just stack on top of it and be nice and level. So really the most important one is getting this bottom one up and leveled correctly. So I've got it measured out already, and then we got the level to get it squared up. So we're going to line up the bottom piece of the shiplap here, and then I trace some lines at the very top of it on each side to get it level. We'll secure it to the wall, and then stack the pieces up on top of it from there. So like I said, main thing is finding your center points, and then how high and low you want it at the top and bottom. So 7.5 inches from the bottom, 7.5 inches from the top, and then found the center of the fireplace, and we'll get it squared up. So we'll put all the shiplap up next. I'll show you one at a time, and then we'll put the border on around it after that.
Alright gang, so on the first piece here, I've started the screws on each end for ease of getting this started once I got it leveled. I'll show you from afar here. We'll get this one leveled and lined up, and then the rest will stack on top nice and easy.
All right, so the first one's on, level, secure, rocking and rolling there. Now, obviously the screw's looking ugly right now, but the border we're gonna put on is gonna cover those up. So I'm not super worried about how good or bad that looks at the moment, because that'll all get covered up as we go along. So we're gonna add the next piece of shiplap on here, and as you see, it's just gonna slide right in. There we go. And like I said, a lot like a puzzle piece, they just slide in and connect. So I'll put the next few on, and then we'll secure them, and we'll be ready to add the border after that.
They're all up and straight, looking good. So next step is adding the border around the outside.
All right, gang. So there we have the first piece on there, the edging. So I decided to go with the different style versus the angle cuts, and then what we're doing is using just small finishing nails. You see the small nail there that we'll be able to just do a little cover up on to blend it all in. But just small finishing nails with each of those. And so I'm going to kind of do an overlapping border around here. So the next one is going to be right alongside it like so. So you'll see we're going to just do a nice little overlapping border around the whole outside. Wasn't thrilled with the way the angle cuts were looking. So anyways, there's the first piece of the border. Around we go. I'll keep it live here so you can see the rest.
Alright guys, we're going to finish up the border here. So what I've done, like I did earlier, was I started the nails on each side. That makes it easier to hold it up and eye your level and everything else, and then get it hammered in, rather than trying to contort yourself and hammer and hold nails all at the same time. You get them started, get them to just so they just poke through a little bit. Then that'll you can even kind of tack it up against it. It'll hold it into the other boards a little bit even. So we're gonna go ahead and get these on there, leveled up, everything else, and so you'll see the next. I'm gonna put the next two up, and then I've still got to cut the last border. So I've only cut the first three just to make sure it all fits up and matches up. I've just cut the first three, so we'll get the next two up. I'll show you that live in action, and then we'll get that last one cut and put up, and we'll be done. Guys, last one's measured, nailed, ready to go. This will be the last piece. Here we are.
All right, gang, so there is the finished, or well, not decorated yet, but there's the finished framing piece of the artwork. And what my wife is looking to do is put a little decoration in the middle of that there. I believe she said a wreath. So I'll show you certainly the absolute finished product when she gets that decorated like she wants. But now it's up, it's leveled, and it's nearly complete. So we may play with the the trim color as well, just seeing if that fits how we want it to. Sorry, it darkened up in here. All of a sudden it's getting stormy and raining, so my lighting's a little rough at the moment, but we'll get that decorated. I'll show you some last pictures of it, and we'll call it a night.
Thank you for joining me. Again, the Aging Gamer with you. You can call me Tag in the comments or wherever else we communicate. And thanks for joining me. Please, please, please hit that like button. Explode that like button. Let us know that you're out there and enjoying the videos and the content, and we will keep it coming. And you can also be super kind and hit that subscribe button and get those alerts on all of our updates with DIY with Tag. All right, y'all. Take care.